In this episode of Decoration Mess, we're going to find out how hard it really is to put your client's design on a headwear strap. Welcome everybody to another episode of Decoration Mess. I'm Stephan Bear from S&S Activewear, and I'm joined with Josh Ellsworth from STAHLS. So, Josh, we've had a lot of questions on this beautiful machine behind me, the 360 Fusion IQ.
Yeah.
And those questions are like, can you really go around 360 degrees on a hat? Like, can you do the straps? So the list goes on and on. So the best thing to do is, I think we just jump right in to some nice hat selections.
Yeah, I know you have 4 hats for us today that we're going to experiment with, and so we're going to put this thing to the test. Of course, we're going to teach you how to do the front placement of the cap so you can see some cool products, but we're going to go 360 degrees and really challenge ourselves with different types of straps on the back of the hats that we're decorating today, and also some side placements that incorporates heat applying to mesh where we have a snapback cap.
That's very cool.
So I love this style to start with.
Yeah, so this is from the game. This is their Ashbury tie-dye adjustable hat. So a lot of tie-dye patterns, very popular. It's the GB482. And so lots of color going on here. You have that adjustable strap in the back, buckle closure. It's a winner.
All right. Well, let's get it loaded onto our hat press. First, I'm going to remove everything from inside of the cap. And then we are going to decorate the front first, just to get our start. And I'll flip the sweatband out, load it onto the bottom platen, and lock the hold down device into place. Now, this is a 6-panel unstructured cap. So I know I'm going to be contending with the seam, which really isn't much of an issue at all. And the unstructured is really nice because I get really nice contact between the cap and the heater. Now, I'm guessing this has some cotton into it because I can feel some moisture coming out of it onto my hand with the heat underneath. So when there's cotton in the cap, I love to do a preheat, and that's a great opportunity for me to test my pressure and adjust it.
Cool.
Now, because I'm going to be doing a direct-to-film transfer, our Ultra Color Max heat transfer, that's going to allow me to do a lot of different colors in the logo. We have the theme of Scoops Ice Cream Shop that we're playing with here today. And so this would be a great cap to sell to any restaurant, ice cream shop, bar, etc. Perfect application. And so direct-to-film transfer, all the color comes to you just like this on the transfer. It's a single-step application. And so I position my design. And actually, let me trim that a little bit closer. It's not allowing me to get the exact placement I want. We'll position that design into place. I'm going to hold it against the bottom heater to warm the adhesive.
Heat comes through,
It does, and if we see that it's not holding too well, there's no harm in taking a piece of thermotape and go ahead and taping that into position to help hold it. And in this case, because the cap is unstructured, I'm actually going to just lock it down and not use the foam cover pad that we normally use. That's going to allow me to do a cap that doesn't have a risk of scorching or creasing because it's not structured. Do them a little bit quicker. So it'll only take me 15 seconds, 290 degrees. The press opens up, and then I can remove the cap and then instantly grab the corner and remove the carrier to reveal my completed result.
It's just at first look, I see like 6 different colors in there. And I know you can add it. It really has no limitations with direct-to-film. But look how nicely that like blends right in with the tie-dye pattern.
Yeah, it feels like it's part of the cap, and a lot of people say, well, how was direct film or Ultra Color Max, how does that work over the seam? And you see it's thin, and so the seam just kind of blends right into it, but it falls right down in to that dimension. And so we are also going to decorate 360 degrees. So you want to do the strap on this one?
I think that's a great place to start.
Okay, and so when you look at this strap, you can see that some of it goes into the tuck away, right? And so depending on who's wearing it, you kind of have to gauge your decoration placement. So I'm actually going to go a little bit left once we get the strap out of here, just to make sure that the logo or the slogan is visible regardless of who's wearing it, what head size.
You've got the vision.
I got the vision, right? So let's see. The hardest part is getting the strap out, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to position that strap. It's really easy. I'm going to use the same hat press, position it into place. I can support the hat with one hand if I want to. But what I've done is I've took something really fancy here, guys.
Whoa!
Big investment. cardboard box.
Is that corrugated?
I might be. And I'm going to place that on the side. And that allows me an extra hand, so to speak, where I'm going to rest my cap against it. Really functional. Take my direct-to-film Ultra Color Max transfer logo. Look how small that is.
Wow.
In the detail. And I'm just going to add that onto the strap placement. Again, I don't want it to move, so I'm going to use the thermo tape. And then let's go ahead and lock the press down. Now, I'll kind of guard it a little bit over here. I'm just sliding it so the press can lock down nicely without.
So no matter, because it can slide left and right, because you're just trying to get, because it has that nice heated surface.
Yeah, I try to get the logo as close to the center as I can so it gets the nice even pressure. But once you've taped it into place, who cares?
Yeah.
You move it about, make sure it's applying accurately. And then when you remove it off, again, toughest part is getting the corner of the tape. I'm actually going to pull from down here.
Sure. Wow, just clean.
Branded it just like that.
So like by just adding these little details, now you're taking this tie-dye hat, you know, it looks completely custom made. And then now just with that little touch in the back, it's just like, it's a truly finished product.
Yeah. So do you notice my mistake?
You went a little too
Remember
far.
what I told you I was going to do? I did the exact opposite because I got confused once the hat was loaded on there. So how would I fix this? What I would do is I would take another logo and I'd place it over here, and this cap would get 2 logos for one. Or you fix it on the next hat, but that's going to be tucked underneath. So again, learn from my mistake. We definitely want to brand opposite the closure to make sure the logo is not going to disappear when we're decorating it.
Easy fix though.
Yeah, but one done, one ready to go.
Yes.
All right, you ready to move to the next one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go with, let's see, how about this theme? I love this cap.
So yeah, this is Imperial's X 210R. So this is the Alter Ego Cap. And so what you're looking at an Alter Ego, like this one has lobsters on it. We also have one with shamrocks and skull and crossbones. So there's a lot of different themes. I think there's a total of 8, 9 different themes that you can look at. And then True Fit is just, it's just a technology that's delivering multiple unparalleled you know, performance features.
Yeah,
so.
And this has a Velcro strap on it, right? So it's easy to get to that placement. Before we get there, let's decorate the front. Let me get rid of my box for a moment. We'll pull that back up here again. Again, we'll take the contents out, discard those, flip the sweatband out, and load it into place. We're going to play right into the theme of this cap. That's why I love these styles with the different themes and the lobster. And so, of course, this is for a restaurant, the Lobster Shack, but you can think of a lot of different uses.
Yeah.
And what's more relevant and specific to a customer that has specializes in lobster on the menu than a hat that actually is pulling that through, right? Or
it could be your favorite place, your favorite food.
Yep, and we're actually using a PVC patch, which is one of our more popular patches that we've launched recently.
Yeah.
It's a rubberized patch. You can see the raise in dimension. For this, because of the raise in dimension, we are going to use the foam cover pad, which means I need to increase my time. And so I'm going to go up to about 45 seconds on the machine. That gives the machine time to get through the cover pad to make good contact. I can see when I locked it down, I didn't set my hat up exactly properly. So let me just adjust that, get it loaded properly. Just a quick adjustment, position my pad, and lock it down for 45 seconds.
That is great.
So in this case, I'm running them all with the direct film so we don't have to wait to change the temperature. But normally this PVC patch would be 280 degrees on the top, 320 degrees on bottom to make sure we get through to the adhesive and get the durability we want, in about 30 to 45 seconds to make sure we get good contact.
Wow. So yeah, I mean, you know, Imperial's done such a good job with bringing in all sorts of designs. They're originally known, you know, really in the golf sector, but they've expanded like with this alter ego type stuff. And we're going to also feature a DNA one, which I'll talk about, but we've really grown that line. So take a look at Imperial headwear on our website. Many styles to choose from.
Yeah, and this is the same deal, right? We can decorate the strap. Honestly, I'm going to pull an audible on this one because I feel like we just decorated the strap. We'll rotate this around. So I just want to show you 360 degrees here, right?
Yeah.
And so let's just say instead of the strap, I want to do above the strap in this location.
Okay.
So literally there's not a whole lot of locations that we can't hit on the cap because it's completely open underneath for your lineup and your placement. So again, I just want to preheat a little bit, make sure I'm going to get good contact to the heater on the area that's going to be pressed, which is right above the closure. I'm going to take a name drop. And so let's just say there are these lobster shacks around the country. I'm going to tag the back location with the particular
very cool
placement. So in case this is Outer Banks, North Carolina, again, we're using a direct-to-film transfer, Ultra Color Max. And because I'm using direct-to-film, 15 seconds, top heat only, quick, easy.
Great.
So you see how I kind of varied that?
Yeah.
This has 2 time settings. It can actually have up to 4. So if you're doing something like this, where you're doing the front and the back, you can rotate it like that.
And on this touchscreen, you just killed the heat on the bottom.
Yeah, you can absolutely kill the heat on the, well, it's still hot.
Yeah.
But you can absolutely kill the heat on the bottom and just wait for that to cool down. So apply, peel.
Hot or not, it worked.
Yeah, check that out, right?
Yeah.
So front location.
That is so clean.
Really high-end premium. We could have done the strap, but we did above the closure there. So yeah, you can do 360 degrees around the cap.
Absolutely. No, that is so nice. And this is retail ready. So if this is your favorite restaurant, this is sitting right at the front as people leave and go, hey man, I can get a Imperial True Fit hat.
Yeah, and so just to keep going with the Imperial line, this one I thought is a challenge, and I haven't tested this at all, so we're going to find out together. But this is leather or faux leather, and so there are different straps, different constructions depending on where you want to brand on the hat. This could present a challenge. But before we get there, talk to us about this style.
Yeah, so the DNA project from Imperial is a project where they go back in time. So, this style was once popular, in the 1900s, right? We can say that now.
1900s,
right? But no, like mid 1950s, 60s, this was a popular style. So they're bringing that back. And the younger generation loves to go retro. So it's an ideal line to look at. And being on the golf course has become like an expression of oneself, so.
Yeah, and I love this because, it has the pattern into it. So we could print the front. Sure. We're not going to. We feel like it has a lot of style already in the front. And so let's focus in. We've already opened up the closure to get to the strap location.
That's where the challenge lies, yeah.
Yep, and again, I'll correct my mistakes from last time.
Oh, yeah.
Let me get my box back up here. All right, and let's get that onto the pressing surface. About as flat as I can get it. And we are going to do a city drop. And so we're doing St. Louis, Missouri. And in this case, I'm going to try to do it running across the complete length of the surface. So it looks like I'm going to need to about this location, right? And so I'm just custom trimming this based on the length of the strap. The toughest part on this one is definitely getting it to hold in place. The heat doesn't really travel through this as much as some of the other products, but I'm just keeping contact there so it kind of conforms to it.
Yeah, once you get it down.
Yeah, and you can tape against the heater, right? So you don't have to just tape to the surface. You can tape against the heater, just make sure that, you don't burn yourself because that is hot down there. And then, again, direct to film transfer. I'm going to lower this. A little trial and error here. I'm going to start with the 15 seconds that we're used to. Let's take a look at how that works.
Yeah, and see how that turns out.
Yeah, and when you're decorating, I've decorated handbags, I've decorated shoes, so I'm experienced with leathers and synthetic leathers. Sometimes a product that would normally be a hot peel is a cold peel when you do these really weird fabrications.
Okay.
And so I'll test it, see if it'll peel hot, but there's a chance that I may have to wait for it to cool down. In this case, it just fell away.
Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
That is beautiful. Very cool.
Quick, easy.
Wait, and the transfer paper just flew away.
Yeah. Better than I expected. So some little detail here that I'm picking up. And again, tried it for the first time. If we look close, you're seeing where the carrier wasn't covering the strap. It's a little glossier, right? So the heat impacted that. I can approach this solution in 2 ways. One is I can just make the carrier on my transfer a little bit larger, right? And that's not going to cost that much to do. Make it a little larger so it covers the whole strap and I don't have this open area.
That's cool.
The other option would be I use a cover sheet, and that may solve that issue as well. But I wanted to point that out. But overall,
it has a constant flow on it, just, and when it's strapped in the back.
Yeah, you think
that's a great ad.
You think that's on there and manufactured as part of it? Lock that down.
Look at that.
Wow, that is
Clean.
Little details, right? So what are some things, thinking about this, we could use sayings, quotes. In this case, we're representing a city. I think of for like a event, for an activation, this is a great place to put a corporate sponsor name to where it's not really interfering with the hat.
Yeah.
So lots of opportunities. So even on that,
I like
Ultra Color Max direct to film transfer. And then for our last one, we want to try the mesh, right?
Let's do the mesh.
But first,
yeah, people are always questioning about the mesh because, it looks vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
So 360 IQ, I'm sure it'll show us the way.
We're going to try.
Yeah.
All right. And so something when we're flipping out the sweatband on this that you'll notice on the snapback enclosure, sometimes it's tough to get the sweatband out really close to the enclosure, but do the best you can. The main thing is we want to get the surface up into the printable area, get rid of the sweatband if we can. If we can't, no big deal. We just adjust and roll with it. Finding my transfer. In this case, I switched it up on the transfer a little bit. So the design for the front of this cap is for a university. And so this could be a very easy teacher gift or faculty gift where it's using the word inspire. And we're doing that out of our Flex style, which is probably one of our more popular patch-like products. Some people call it liquid embroidery. And so this one, again, 30 seconds, should be 280 on top. I think I'm getting the pressure, so I'm just going to slide it up a little bit. 280 on top, 320 on bottom for 30 seconds. In this case, I'm running it what I have it at just for the demonstration in the video.
So the beauty of this too is this is a 47 brand hat, which has such a collegiate presence. This is the Trawler, which is their mesh back trucker, and they also have the cleanup cap, which you see everywhere in licensing from NFL to Major League Baseball. But I think, having this at your disposal for the local business, it's fantastic.
Yeah, and you may have missed it. It peeled the carrier automatically for me when it opened up.
I mean, is that a new feature on the 360 IQ? That's the second round.
Every once in a while I get lucky. So we have the mesh loaded, but let me complete the look. We're going to do a PVC patch on the front of this to wrap up our episode today. And for the PVC patch, again, I'm going to preheat to get rid of that moisture.
So again, but where I'm really fascinated is, to me, that's still hot, and you're working with 360 IQ, and you just flipped it over now to hit the front because we have time. And it's like, it's that easy to work with.
Yeah, and I'm going to give you a caution, right? Because I love having like the more production pro tips on this. This is an unstructured cap. So I can flip it 360 degrees, press it, just kind of work with the cap. Where you really want to watch is if you have a structured cap and you press the front first, and then you go to rotate that around to press the back. Do not use the hold down device, which locks against the front of it, because that will absolutely damage the structure of the cap while it's still hot. I know from experience.
Yes.
And I've got plenty of phone calls. What's happened? Well, you can't lock that down while it's hot. So just put some time in between that, or don't use the hold down device when you're pressing the back. As you can see, you really don't need it.
Pro tip, Josh Ellsworth.
10 seconds, let's go. We're making money, so how much money can you make in 45 seconds, right?
Exactly.
Average profit per cap that we're seeing out there, about $5 to $10. So the return on these is ridiculous. Yeah.
Wow. There's something worth mentioning again.
Yeah.
So, wow, look how clean.
Yeah.
I mean, everything, and then you've got, an inspiration logo on the side. Like you said, this thing can print money.
Yeah, and we've done the episode, so we know that the patches that we're creating are durable. A lot of people think they need to sew a patch. Sewing patches is a great opportunity for you, but with the 360 IQ, you can absolutely apply these patches, and they can be just as durable, and they won't peel off. Watch our old Decoration Myth episode, and you'll see Stefan try to get it off with pliers. It was pretty fun. Yeah, it was awesome. So another great time. We covered some great headwear. All those headwear product links are listed below. And then, Josh, thanks. And we love the pro tips. We'll see you on the next episode of Decoration Myths. Thanks for watching.